Yeah, we back once again with another interesting video. Now, as you can see up on the screen, the headline that I got up, it says, according to a new study, single women in the country are outpacing men in being homeowners. Single women own roughly 10.7 million homes in America, compared to 8.1 million owned by single men. Let's get into it. Now, of course, as you would expect, the comment section of this post is an absolute shambles, right? The women talking about, oh yeah, ladies, ooh, we ain't trying to live under no man. We ain't trying to live under the rules of no man. Ladies, we got our own. Mama told us be independent. Mama told us have our own. Yeah, I just bought my first house. Yeah. Listen, the women, yeah, they dancing, you know what I'm saying? They doing their victory lap, but let's crunch the numbers. Let's crunch the numbers, fellas and ladies. At the end of this video, like I say in most of my videos, what I always preach, what I always promote, what I always advocate for. I know society tried to tell you different. I know your mama tried to tell you different and told you the independent route is the route to success. But at the end of the video, you're going to realize that the only successful and wealthy and prosperous women are the women that are married to men. Yes, indeed. Married women are actually the ones that are prospering the most over all other groups of women. The only demographic of single women who are truly independent, who can say they're truly independent and wealthy and prosperous, are elderly white women. And their wealth is inherited from their wealthy white fathers and grandfathers and uncles and husbands. Now, before we jump into the article, I want to provide some context because I think this video is actually a good follow-up to one I dropped earlier today, entitled, Black Woman Says She Was Tricked by Society into Becoming a Single Mother. Now, I'm going to play a clip from that video, and then I think it would serve as context for this one. So I'm going to run that footage, and I'll be right back. Let's go.
I had no help and nobody to fall back on. The only assistance you could really get was emergency assistance, and you were only eligible for that once a year. The only way they were giving out cash assistance, housing assistance, any type of assistance for young women back then was if you had a baby. I would see my friends with baby getting a government check every month. I see them getting their food stamps. I see some of them getting their housing. They even had programs to help you get a car, get you back in school, get you in childcare. There was literally nothing for me, an 18-year-old single adult that was actually trying in life. Nothing for me.
Yeah, we back. So why did I play that video? Number one is to show that society, at least in the United States, I'm not saying all governments around the world, the United States government provides more securities, more luxuries, more benefits, more amenities to the women of the United States, especially women who are single mothers. The society extends a helping hand to single women, single mothers, more than it would for single men. As a single man, get up off your ass. You better get to the grind. You better get to work. You better stack your bread. All right. Ain't gonna be no programs for you to, get on your feet, my boy. You better get to the grind, bro. You better get to the grind and start chasing that bread. Period, point blank. If you don't chase the bread, you don't grind, you don't eat. So naturally, listen, the society is going to extend a helping hand to the women, and that's natural. And if a woman is a single mom, she's going to want to have a stable environment for her children. So they're going to be more inclined to settle down into one fixed location, right? Buy a house, get a mortgage, things like that, more so than a single man. A man is not really going to tie himself down to a property, at least not a property to live in, until he's ready to establish his family structure, his household. That is when a man typically goes in and buys himself a house, things like that. He usually goes in with his wife. A single man typically is going to, shack up at his apartment, have a condo in the city, things like that. Something where it's not such a massive commitment to where you can't get up and leave, go across the city, go across the country, leave the country, things like that. A man, he's not really gonna fix himself down to a fixed location. Whereas a single woman, especially a woman who has children, she is more inclined to do so. And a single woman, especially a woman who has children, is going to have access to more opportunities from the government to help her get on her feet, right? Give her that little foundation so she can get a jump start as well as a chance at life. So no, I'm not surprised about women owning more homes than men. Number one, white women have more wealth than white men, even though their wealth was inherited by other white men, their fathers, their husbands, things like that. White women own more wealth than white men. And on top of that, women in general outnumber men in the United States. Now, let's jump into the article, and then we're going to crunch some numbers at the end. And then you're going to realize that, listen, unless you are an elderly white woman, your best bet at a prosperous life is to find a competent, successful, and decent man, marry that man, have his children, live happily ever after. Now, let's jump into the article. A recent study found that single women are outpacing single men in home ownership. This new trend has come as a shock to many and is bound to have long-term effects on the financial market in generations to come. Single women own roughly 10.7 million homes in America, compared to 8.1 million owned by single men. According to a recent analysis from LendingTree, that looked at 2021 census data. The surprising development has spread nearly all across the country, with single women being more likely to own a home in 48 of 50 states, all but North and South Dakota. Women dominate ownership at the highest rates in southern states like Louisiana, Alabama, and South Carolina, which typically have cheaper home prices. Meanwhile, Florida, Delaware, and Maryland reported the widest gender gap among single homeowners. The Sunshine State has a 4.55% gap, equating to 262,000 more single women owning homes than single men. Women make an average of 83 cents for every dollar a man makes, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. But women are continuing to make strides in other capacities. More women are enrolling and graduating from college than men, and some are defying the pay gap by out-earning men in 22 states across the country. As women are working to catch up to their male counterparts, they are taking measures to set themselves up for success, even amid a tumultuous housing market. Buying a home is often touted as one of the best financial investments a person can make. Now, let's get into it. First of all, this is clearly a gender war article. Clearly, just look how they frame the language. As women are working to catch up to their male counterparts, like women are working to catch up to the men. It's not framed as, okay, a woman is supposed to latch on to a man who's already winning and blowing out the competition and then sail off to the finish line with that man. No, she is also on the battlefield with the man. You see how they framed the conversation? And that's why I say women are simply a product of their environment. That's why so many women in this country have a mentality where they see men as their adversary. They see men as the opposition. Because look how they frame the language of the article, man. The women are working to catch up. The women are making strides. They 83 cents for every dollar. Like, what is this? What is this competition vibe? Because if it's a competition, I mean, I'm telling you right now, ladies, you're not gonna outwork the men. You're not gonna outwork the men because men, we gonna work till we 93 years old until we dead. Men, we gonna work until we die. We gonna work until we drop, man. We gonna work until we drop. Men be out here 84 years old, still making business deals, still cutting a check. You know what I'm saying? Listen, the grind never stopped for the men. Trust me, I got a lot of women in my family. Women reach a certain age, they want to retire. They want to hang up the jersey. They want to relax. Men, listen, we going to hit the gas until the casket drop. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to outwork the man. You're never going to catch up to the man. Not because it's about a pay gap or a gender gap or patriarchy. It's just you're not going to outwork the man. You're not going to get up earlier than us. You're not going to go to sleep later than us. You're just not going to go harder than us. You're not going to go harder than us, man. Listen, it is what it is, man. You shouldn't want to go harder than us. You should want to latch on to the most powerful man in the room and ride off into the sunset so your kids can have a comfortable, beautiful life. Now, of course, this article did not make any distinction or separation or delineation as it came to race or anything like that. Race, background, walk of life, ethnicity. It just put all Americans into the pot. Black, white, Asian, Native American, Russian, it doesn't even matter. And these things are important because when you throw everything under the banner of American, then things get lost in the sauce. Things get lost in translation. So we have to, let's crunch some numbers real quick. All right. As we know, Black people in America have the greatest gender wealth disparity, though still having little wealth compared to whites. Single Black men's median wealth was $10,100 compared to single Black women's median wealth of $1,700. Single white women have slightly higher median wealth than single white men. Single white women's wealth is estimated at $81,200 compared to single white men at $78,200. Listen, I get it. We don't need to jump into the explanation on why white Americans have damn near, 50 gajillion times more wealth than we do. Listen, they was counting up the profit and Black people was on a plantation. We understand. And you got to understand, they throw everybody in the pot. So all their very wealthy families are also affecting these numbers as well, right? It's bringing up the averages way higher. Like the old wealthy colonial families that got $800 million. But anyways, let's stay on topic. I'm not trying to turn this into a wealth gap conversation. That's not my channel. Let's continue. Black men have a median income of $46,000. Black women have a median income of $41,000. White men have a median income of $59,000. White women have a median income of $49,000. And we got to break down the numbers in this way because the article said single women versus single men. Now, I don't know why they're measuring this because it's kind of like seeing who's the tallest midget because listen, married men and women are the richest people in the world. So I don't understand, measuring like the point of measuring the single versus the single men versus single women. It's a gender war article. But anyways, we still got to crunch the numbers though. Single Black women age 60 and older with a college degree hold $11,000 in wealth, which is in contrast to the $384,400 in median wealth among single white women that same age with a college degree. Married Black couples have more than double the median wealth of single Black men and have almost 15 times the median wealth of single Black women. Married Black couples have more than double the income of single Black men and women. In summary, what does that mean? It means that, listen, we got to come back to reality, okay? I've seen a lot of women in the comment section talking down on black men. You know what I'm saying? Talking about, yeah, go girl. Yeah, we doing it. Mama told us, have our own. Mama told us be independent. Listen, unless you're a white woman from old money, then according to the statistics, you ain't got money like that, baby girl. You ain't got money like that. Stop it. Stop this competition with the black man. Stop this competition amongst the black man. It's really no point. The best strategy for war is collaboration. Because if you're in competition against a black man, you are losing. Black men are less educated. We're more incarcerated. We're less employed. And still, with all that stacked up against us, single black men have 10 times the wealth of single black women. But brothers, hey, don't start celebrating now. Don't start celebrating. $10,000 in wealth ain't nothing, my boy. $10,000 ain't wealth, ain't nothing to write home about, my dude. You know what I'm saying? So listen, don't start celebrating now. I'm just telling you. I'm just trying to tell the ladies, collaboration is better than competition. Because when it comes to competition, you're not gonna outwork the men. You don't have enough fire in the engine as the men do. You're not gonna be up earlier than us. You're not gonna go harder than us naturally. So your best bet, like I always say, attach yourself to a man who's already blowing out the competition. Why would you wanna compete against men when you can already just hop in the passenger seat of a man who's already blowing out the other man? A man who's already destroying the other man. Why don't you just be his partner? Just be alongside him while he destroys the competition. Because you're not going to outwork him. You're not going to destroy him. So you might as well get with somebody who's already putting major points up on the scoreboard. Because we can look at the numbers, right? We can look at the numbers. The demographic of women who are the most wealthy. I did a list. I believe I did a list entitled the top 20 most powerful women in the world, or the most richest women in the world. I forget the title that I put on that video. And I gave an entire list of all the richest women in the world from around the globe, from Europe to America to Asia to all over the place, right? And guess what? Every single woman on that list had in common. Every single one. Not one was different. All of them. They inherited their wealth from their grandfather, their father, their godfather, their uncle, their stepfather, their brother, their husband. Every single one on that list. Every single woman on that list was connected to a powerful man. And just by the mere fact of her being the wife, or the daughter, or the granddaughter, or the stepdaughter, or the sister of a powerful man, she ended up having access to over $20 billion, $30 billion, $80 billion. And the reason why this article had to frame it in this specific way, they had to say the single men and the single women. Because if they put in the married man and the married women, listen, at that point, they blowing y'all out the water, man. When the married man and the married women step into the building, listen, it's big money talking. It's big money at the table. It's big money at the table. Married men earn the most money. They have the most income. They have the most wealth. And married women is the same thing. I wouldn't say married women have the most income, depending, but they most definitely have the most wealth, for sure. They most definitely have the highest amount of wealth. In fact, I think married black women have damn near 10 to 20 times more wealth than a single black woman. So regardless if single men are buying homes or single women buy more homes, it doesn't matter, because at the end of the day, it's the married men and women that's calling the shots. It's the married men and women that's having big paper. It's the married men and women that's talking big money. And I understand, brothers. I understand the laws of the land. I understand why you don't want to get married. But that does not change the data and the statistics. At the end of the day, married men is the ones that's having the most bankroll. And due to the fact that married men have the most bankroll, the women that they are married to, they also got big bankroll by association. So this article is stupid, because according to the median income, the wealth and all that, single men and women, regardless of race, they have the least amount of wealth in the country. Once you remove income, just strictly talking about wealth, even single white men and women don't even got that much wealth. The wealth truly starts to accumulate as you get up in age, as you reach, midlife up to your elderly age. And usually that is when the wealth accumulates at its height. That's why elderly white women, they got hundreds of thousands of dollars in wealth by the time they reach a certain age. And most of that is probably strictly due to the family structure, having life insurance, as well as inheriting assets from your husband, your father, your grandfather, etc., etc. And to be honest, the only purpose of this article was to reinforce that mentality that the women have to compete against the man, where they feel like they are in competition against the man. They got to catch up to the man. They got to step on the battlefield and go against the man. When in reality, they should be trying to collaborate and partner up with the man, like I said, who is already destroying the competition. Trust me, your kids will thank you for choosing an excellent man to get married to and have a family with. Trust me, your kids will live an excellent quality of life. But instead, you want to compete against the man. You want to stand alone. You want to be independent. You want to do your own thing. And guess what? It is what it is, man. Listen, your family tree gonna suffer. His wife gonna be living good, though. You competing against the men, but the men they married to their wives. Ain't that stupid? The women, they competing against the men, but the men they married to their wives. So the woman that's next to him, she inheriting all the wealth and the glory and the luxury, and you competing against them. You competing against households and whole entire families, and you trying to stand alone as a single person. Listen, y'all do what y'all want to do, man. Y'all do what y'all want to do. Me, myself, I'm going to get married. It may not be in this country, though. It may not be in this country, but I'm going to get married, though. I'm going to get married. Even if I meet her here, we're gonna have to relocate. I'm not going to get married under the laws of the United States, but I'm for sure going to get married. Why would you want to go against a model that works? A business model that works. It's worked for a very long time. It's proven success. Has a proven success rate. And when I say success rate, I'm obviously talking about the maintenance of wealth, the accumulation, maintenance, and inheritance of wealth. I'm not talking about, divorce and things like that. I'm talking about a different type of success. That is why they are the richest demographic of people in the world. It works. Marriage, it works. With the right woman under the right circumstances, marriage, it works. I've seen it. It works. When I look at the numbers, for the single men and women, y'all broke. Y'all broke out here. Y'all broke. Y'all struggling out here. And I would be a fool to follow in the same direction. It is what it is, man. But yeah, it's your boy Neferkari Dessalines back in the building. Yes, indeed. Like, share, subscribe, Cash App in the description. And I'm gone. Peace.
Reincarnated, I'm back in original fashion. I left on a horse and came back in the ass, and I left with abundance and came back to famine. We used to be pyramids, now we be rapping. Look how the mighty have fallen. Used to be running, now we be walking. When you be cooning, that's when they applauded. Selling your soul, your sons and your daughter. Gotta come up in this shit, they stuck in the mix. Really, my heart it be breaking. That's why I'm stacking that paper and handle my business. Pass it down in generation. Talking about money and power and building a nation. That's a deadly combination. Never be watching the TV, they pushing agendas, falsifying information. Know they got malice intentions. Step in the room and I'm feeling the tension. Enemy watching, he blocking my vision. Came for the check cause I need my redemption. Building my kingdom, I need it protected. Ready for war like a young Money Congo. Never decided the team is the motto. Up in the crib and I'm whipping up waffles. Up in the crib and I'm smoking gelato. I'm chilling, I'm taking my pain and make it ambition. I'm blessed by the gods, but I ain't religious. I came for the power, they came for the bitch. They making no hourly wage, I got business. This shit is an art and they could never be taught. Selling my soul, I can never be bought. Play with my money, I see you ain't caught. Run to the check and I do it for sport. Babylon falling, I go to the source. Packing my luggage and go overseas. Shorty be with me and she so at least. Shorty be chocolate, I'm calling her Hershey. Secret intelligence probably gon' murk me. Don't fuck with brands, cause nigga I'm Haitian. Say the wrong shit and you're smacking their faces.